So this is going to be video 11, and these are videos that are basically just for my thoughts, my ideas, how I kind of get them down in kind of like a video format so that way I can kind of understand them in the future a little bit better, as well as have other people kind of benefit from them. This is the fourth stage of 4 stages of a thought, and the stages of a thought are you're first thinking about something, you decide you want to say it this way, and then it is heard by a recording as this, and then that person that you wanted to speak to interprets it a certain way based on their understandings. So a lot of times a person, if they're happy or sad or whatever, is going to interpret whatever words or spells, whatever spell it is that they're going to be under. So as a wizard or warlock, you would have to think about how they're going to be hypnotized with your spell, with your wand. And your wand is your word. So if you want to be able to stroke your wand and get your word to be effective, you need to understand what it is possible for their state of mind. So you yourself, whenever you hear someone, you should think about how that person meant to say what it is that they wanted to say and why it is maybe that they said what they said. Because if they said it right after something else, then it could have possibly been that they were thinking something, an event happened, and then now they're causing them to think something else, which then the next event would cause them to need to say something to you, and then they say something to you. So it was a series of that event that caused them to say that to you. So then if you're saying something and you say it after something else, that person could be thinking that you said it in that order specifically because you were thinking about something else. A lot of people don't know how other people think, and myself, I don't know how other people think at all times. I have to kind of guess based on previous interactions with them, and a lot of times I'm wrong. A lot of times, as it turns out, I was lied to or something like that. So a lot of times that thought processes that you're constantly going through is, am I being lied to? Are these people lying to me? How much of everything has been a lie? And then what I would do in that situation as I'm receiving something is I would just put it in kind of like a container, just don't apply a value to it. Maybe put like 0 or infinity, so that way it's a possibility that it could be anything, except you're going to put down what value that person said. And then this way, you can at least remember what you can remember about what was said, as opposed to what you thought that meant of that situation. Now, if you're able to know and think this intellectually and think this dynamically in multiple aspects, and then you're able to think about the ability for somebody else that said something to mean something because they're from this other place. So if you think about it in rooms, everybody's from a different room. If they were just in that other room, maybe they were experiencing something, and that's why when they came in this room that they were saying it. So if this person's from this country or from this place, then they started saying this. Now, why are they saying it? So you have to understand too, like accent, and sometimes like if you have an accent, or if someone thinks that you have an accent, they're going to just immediately associate you with that particular place or that situation. So if you have an accent and they don't agree with that area, maybe they're going to like be a little biased to what you say, and they're not going to listen to you. Their easier situation is if you have an accent, maybe they just can't flat out understand what you're saying because the word that you're saying is saying in another way that almost sounds like this other word, or it just doesn't register to them what word you're actually trying to say. The other idea is always it's like sending off a flag that is to another So here in Florida, we see a lot the Confederate flag. Well, when I see it, I'm an intelligent human being. I'm saying that to myself in my body so everybody hears it and everybody knows and follows suit. And with that, I don't get like any kind of thoughts as to what kind of intentions this person has. I would just assume that they are trying to honor that ancestor that was trying to fight for that reason that they fought for in that flag. Because a lot of people now, based on the early ages of all the media and all of the ability for us to communicate over a wire, has brought forth whoever says it the loudest is the one that we believe, or whoever says it the most is the one that we believe. So if you're only able to think about something for so long, and someone tells you something, you're going to start thinking about this, and then it's harder to think about these other ideas at the exact same time. So you want to be able to constantly remind someone of thoughts that are the most important, as well as direct the flow of thoughts to where it's going to be in a productive, sustainable, helpful manner for everybody to get what they want in the community. So everything in a community is about communication. So how somebody would interpret what you're trying to say is very important. So if you're sitting there in sweats and a shirt that's kind of revealing to your figure, and maybe it's causing extra skin or it's causing extra hair to be shown, then maybe that other person is going to receive your message differently than if you were wearing a suit, or if you were, standing with confidence. Think about how they're gonna, how somebody may be interpreting what you're saying, and what that final thought is that they thought about at the very end to sum up all of those thoughts in general, because they will only remember and think of a situation as what they remember at the end, so like it won't almost matter if you dragged them through the mud at the beginning, as long as at the end you rewarded them in such a way that was worth it, and that wasn't even like a big deal because of it. They had no scars or no damages or anything that would have caused them to be less fortunate. So being mindful of what someone can think of based on your parameters in your environment, because every environment's different, every business is different, every culture is different, every shopping center is different, and people can interpret what you're saying in all those different ways. So you also want to be mindful of what other people are saying, and you always just want to be understanding of all those possibilities, and you don't ever want to just jump to conclusions, or you don't want to react, or you don't want to, basically jump the gun, as they say, or act the fool, or put your foot in the mouth, say something you don't want to say, or do something you don't want to do. You should always be calm, cool, and collected, and understanding that what you say has that very most benefit and can actually upset somebody or cause them to think differently about you, or someone like you, or someone that looks like you in the future, or something. And it's kind of like the butterfly effect. Every little thing could possibly do it. So maybe even just following things up with a smile or something like that could potentially drive home the thought and the feeling, because it's all about what somebody receives. It's all about what they heard. It's all about how they understand it. It's all about how they thought you actually meant, what they think you actually meant by it. And they're gonna, it's almost like ram what they can hold true, what they're actually thinking of. And you yourself, you at the beginning of the day, you would think about what it is that you can do to make yourself happy over the course of the day. And then at the end of the day, you would think about whether or not you were happy over the majority. And then you would think about, was I having the freedom to be able to try to have happiness? And if you were, then you'd be satisfied. And then if your interactions with people and what you understood what they said, and you were able to get through your thought to them, and they were to understand what you really meant, then you would have a much closer alignment to your goals, which would bring you to your vision, and then which would be the whole reason I'm making these video series, so that I can continuously get closer to my goals and my vision. And if you like these videos, please comment, subscribe, like, and if you don't like these videos, then comment and dislike, and then subscribe and turn the notification bell on, so that way you can make sure to dislike and comment on every single video that I put out from here on out, because I still have like another 30 videos to put out, and on just these topics, how I figured out the exact methods and formulas to a perfect life of happiness and restriction, which is resistance, which is going to be perfect life of bliss. Goosebumps. I love you. Have a great night.